speaker who's attending is P2, and Toastmaster Arvind is going to be the evaluator. I request Toastmaster Arvind to please read the objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The speaker is attempting the second project from the initial manual, the Cognitive Communication Manual. It's organize your speech. The objectives are: select an appropriate outline which allows listeners to easily follow and understand your speech. Make your message clear with supporting material directly contributing to that message. Use appropriate transitions when moving from one idea to another, creating a strong opening and conclusion. Time 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Toastmaster Aditya Jaikumar. The different thing he said he did was to cross the road in Los Angeles like he crosses in Mumbai without pressing the traffic halt button. All the best to you, Toastmaster. Please welcome. How train traveling helped me at my workplace, Toastmaster Aditya. Toastmaster Aditya, how train traveling helped me at my workplace.
It carries over 6.1 million computers on a daily basis. It has the highest passenger density of any urban railway network in the world. Due to its intensive use and extensive reach, it suffers from overcrowding on a daily basis. On a yearly basis, 3,500 people die due to overcrowding during the rush hour. But every dark cloud has a silver lining, right? Toastmasters Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Traveling by train has helped me in many ways, my job, and has made me a better person. In the next few minutes, I will outline the reasons why I feel so with suitable examples. Number one, it's made me a people's person. Now, as you notice in every organization, people's person is someone who surrounds himself with other people, lends a helping hand, and brings a smile on people's face, right? Well, in the circumstances that I have in an extremely crowded train, I tend to be extremely close to my fellow humans. Personal space in such a context is just another phrase in the English language. Well, I lend a helping hand by offering to place my computer's laptop bag on the carrier. And I bring a smile on people's face by standing up and giving my seat to someone who needs it more than I do, like maybe to a senior citizen. Second, patience and crisis management skills. Now, an exemplary employee always knows to use patience when confronted by a challenge and uses his resourcefulness to convert that into an opportunity. Right? For those of you who haven't traveled by train, which word are you? Traveling by train requires a lot of patience and crisis management skills. For example, if my train is cancelled, I have to think on the spot for alternate ways to get to my destination. Secondly, if the train is coming from a very far location and not from Belapur, I might as well miss that train because it is going to be awfully crowded. And finally, when I get into the train, that's where the real patience and crisis management skills starts. People will stamp on your well-polished shoes, they'll ruin your well-ironed shirt and push you to get that much coveted seat. Have you ever wondered why there is such a big demand for good polished wallas in Mumbai? Three, my breathing skills. Over thousands of years, yogis have meditated in ice caves and sat under trees, practicing breathing skills to attain that enlightenment. Olympic swimmers practice the same to improve their training and get a gold medal. Breathing skills is extremely important for fishermen in Japan who dive into the depths of the seas to obtain the pearl and sell it later on in the market. I am no professional breathing expert, but at times when the first class is overly crowded and I have to get into the second class, my inborn talents come to my rescue. what happens in such a situation is that my breathing halts as soon as someone stretches their arm to reach for the handlebar, or if someone stretches out of pure boredom. It's in situations like these which you realize the importance of a small bottle of Axe deodorant. It has made me a go-getter. You see, in the continent of Africa, in the place called the Serengeti, every day is a constant struggle for survival. If the gazelle does not outrun the lion, it will lose its life. And if the lion does not catch the gazelle, it will probably miss out on its next meal and die out of starvation. But the important point to remember, my friends, is that as soon as you get up, you must keep running. And this particular principle is so very defined in all our crowded stations in Mumbai. As anyone been to the crowd stations, Ghatkopar, Andheri, Kurla, people are always running, whether it's teenagers or middle-aged men and women or maybe senior citizens. People are running from here to there, helter-skelter, to reach that destination. Sometimes I wonder, why do people run so much? Is it because they leave late? Or maybe they have a lot of work to do? Or maybe they're just trying to be healthy, stay fit? Whatever the reason, I am motivated myself, and sometimes I run also to lose some calories and keep up with the crowd. It has also taught me time management skills. Now, time management is defined as the ability to increase your effectiveness by using time very well. So, when I am moving, the train is moving, instead of staring blankly at people's faces, looking out the window and checking the next station, or maybe discreetly trying to read someone's SMS while they type, I read a book, or I listen to an audio book to improve my skills, maybe learn something new as well. So just to summarize, train traveling has taught me many things. Some of them are patience, crisis management skills. It has taught me to become a better people's person. It has improved my breathing skills, helped me become a go-getter, and increased my time management skills as well. So the next time that you go and travel by train, I encourage you to notice these details, because as Nobel laureate Max Planck once said, when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will also change. What do you do?